But some differences here. We've talked a lot about the defense. And for Miami, only 4 blocks to Stanford's 11. So something they will definitely want to work on at this point. As I'm talking about that, what a big change there from Cologne. A big block to get this set started from her straight down. And that makes 5 total team blocks for Miami.
Stanford out blocking Miami 11-5, but the Hurricanes have been slowly but surely adding to the tally in that category. Nearly another ace there, but a free ball opportunity instead. Dahlia Wilson, big time swing. Miami's up 2-0 quickly here in the 4th set.
Dahlia Wilson, she has been so dominant on that slide attack. Just so aggressive on her swing, 6'4". And a lot of evenly matched players on both sides of the court.
There's Harvey, straight down to get Stanford on the board.
I think I already talked about it in the last set, but for Harvey, look at that swing. Just straight down on the line. She gets up there so high, only 6'1", but she is flying.
7 kills on the day. The dump! Rodriguez with the read. She continues to impress in multiple ways.
Rodriguez, that is her 3rd kill. 3rd setter dump on the match.
43 assists, 3 aces, 4 digs, got a block as well. She has been contributing in all ways. Here's Parks with the one-handed. Here's Heredia Cologne. That goes long. Miami wants the touch, but the point called for Stanford.
Heredia Cologne still so dominant, leading this match with 17 kills, but on the backside of that, 10 errors, and she's had a little bit of trouble finding those high hands on Stanford. She's had a couple of balls that have gone long, trying to get a touch.
And that falls in right where they needed it. Diving attempt there from Harvey, but perfectly placed down the line. Miami up by 2. Rodriguez at the line, and it continues to be a threat.
Rodriguez, we've talked a lot about how lethal she is at the service line. That top spin jump serve.
Here's Rubin. Gets it. Mixed it up. Got it to fall down, and now Stanford's within 1.
What a smart roll shot from Rubin there on that play. Right off of the hands of that Miami block.
And you said something earlier. We talk about big swings a lot, but there are also smart swings, and Rubin's had several of those in this one. Although that one's long there.
And Rubin also so smart with knowing when to switch it up when she goes up to hit. She is so lethal. She always finds a way to score, whether it's high hands, whether it's a push tip to the corner. She has a lot of different shots in her tool belt.
Here's Heredia Cologne. That's going to go long. Exchanging service errors. Stanford has double digits. Miami now at 9 on the day. And both teams do tend to be aggressive when it comes to serving. With that comes some fantastic aces, as we've seen, but it does come with the errors as well, as we've also seen.
Definitely, and that is going to happen when you are trying to put a lot of pressure on a service eve.
The tip there. It's going to just graze the video board here at Maples. There's Blasov. Once again, that's number 13, lucky number 13, and her kills for the night.
So Coco Kirsch giving her that out-of-system set first a little bit inside, but for Blasov, such a high flyer and a quick arm, she finds space on that sharp cross-court swing.
Tied up at 5. Here's Kirsch. Into the net. 11th service error for the card.
A tough one for Kirsch. Usually comes in, does a great job pushing points. Has a very aggressive float serve. Feliciano now back to serve for the Hurricanes.
6 serving 5. Service error once again, double digits now for Miami.
So now we're at that point of the match where a lot of high errors trading back and forth.
How much of that is mental versus physical?
At this point of the match, so much of that is mental. Everybody wants to come up to the service line, and
what a save by Ruben.
I got distracted by that save. It was so great.
The rally continues. The back set to Harvey. Puts it away.
Good play there from the Cardinal, but back to your point, you asked about the serves at this point.
Yep.
You have kind of a mix. There's some fatigue in there for sure. Both of these teams have had some battles in their matches, especially Miami. They went to 5 with Cal on Thursday, traveling to California, and for the Cardinal as well, a lot of travel behind them and coming up for them as well. So you're at that midpoint in the season where these long matches, it gets harder and harder sometimes to maintain that focus. And that ball coming right over to our table, try to lean out of the way in case someone wants to dive across to save the ball. But yeah, and so for both teams, as we talked about, both have a high error rate on the service line right now, but that is also because they are really trying to target. And with that, putting a lot of pressure, a lot more errors.
The strategy behind it all. Here's Parks to Harvey. Straight down again. Jordan Harvey is getting to work.
Her 9th kill on the match, and she has just had some ridiculous straight down swings around the Miami block.
Blasov serving. Rodriguez back to Wilson. Blasov with the dig. Here's Ruben tooling the block. Elia Ruben once again.
Great swing from Ruben, but I want to talk about Blasov on the defense, filling that hole there from the block. Wilson on Miami has been so efficient on that slide, but Blasov taking that step over, a much needed difference there on that slide attack.
Joust at the net, Ruben on it. Recovered by Miami, there's Wilson. Back set. Jordan Harvey. Air Jordan back at it again.
Jordan Harvey gets up there on that swing. Wilson does not make it out to block, so she only has one blocker up on the line and has that cross court wide open.
Cardinal with double digits, up by 3. In the back row, Heredia Colon off the block, falling in. Miami back within 2.
A tough play there. You see some of that frustration from Parks as she's a little bit back on her heels on the defense. They're expecting that huge swing from Cologne, which we know she can do. So when that ball hit the top of the hands, there was no one up there around the 10-foot line to pick it up.
Mina Njai at the line. Over to Harvey. Gets it again. Jordan Harvey is on a roll.
Sneaks that ball through the block there. Miami not pressed enough over the net. When she goes up, they try, but she finds that space underneath the right arm of Cologne and between the block.
Cross court. Ready, Cologne right back at her.
The ball is alive.
Feliciano keeping it alive. Little overpass here. Back to Ruben. Feliciano again.
The fight from Miami, picking up all of these balls here. The block.
We play on. Finally, Elia Ruben wins the battle.
This Stanford team, they are so good at taking swings and finding space around the block. And on the other side for Miami, Mushkudiani is the same thing. She does a really good job of that, but you see that a lot from Ruben and from Harvey.
Over to Heredia Cologne, big time swing. Perfectly placed, cross court. Miami within 3.
That was a tough miss there from Andrew. She went the opposite direction from that set. So she stayed on Rodriguez and left Harvey with one block up on Colon. Colon taking advantage of that with her favorite swing, that hard cross court.
Here's Rubin, big time. The angle there, the placement, everything working. 15 kills for the All-American.
Now serving number 5, Jordan Harvey.
So both teams here trading off.
Serve is long from Jordan Harvey. 12th service error for the Cardinal. Miami now at double digits. Elia Rubin now hitting over 400 as well, sitting at 406 with her 15 kills, 7 digs. Here she is again. Back corner again. Make it 16 kills for Elia Rubin.
Rubin is going off right now. The returning senior All-American for this Cardinal squad.
Only 3 kills behind Heredia Colon now for the match high, and Andrews on it in the middle. Here's Heredia Colon again. That's off the block. Rubin keeps it alive at the net. The dump attempt. Miscommunication there. Staying alive are the Hurricanes. Heredia Colon, but Rubin with the dig. That's her 8th.
Huge dig
Blashaw
for
roll
Rubin.
shot.
Who you don't want to give free balls to. They will find a way to score, and now we have Blashaw back in the front row and Rubin back on the serve.
Stanford hitting 455 in this set with just 1 error across the board. 250 for Miami for the set, and overall for the match, the Cardinal 362 for the entire thing so far as a group. 10 errors to Miami's 22, and here's Rubin. The net. Shut down. Nearly surviving, but the block stays in place.
So Colon blocked on that one. And a huge block there from the Cardinal. Andrew not quite able to make it out there, but her reach, so long she's able to get over and still find a way to close that seam.
12th block for the Card. They've been sitting at 11 for a while, and that one goes wide. Out of bounds gives Stanford the 7-point lead. The largest that we have seen in this match, and the timeout is called.
You see that frustration from Mushkudiani on that play. She does not look happy right now. A little tough with her connection with Rodriguez, trying to find it again. They were doing really well in the first couple of sets here in that connection, and when she would go up to hit, finding space, but the last couple of swings have not gone her way.
Mushkudiani, second on the team with 11 kills, hitting 207. Heredia Colon hitting 125. But then you have Dahlia Wilson right behind them with 10 kills, the third with double digits on this team, hitting 529. She has continued to be the threat, and they're going to need her down the stretch here in the 4th set.
Definitely going to need to start going back to their middle blockers here. But it's also difficult to do when you have a lot of out-of-system plays and that ball behind the 10-foot line. So Rodriguez trying to make something happen with her pin hitters. And that Cardinal block in front of them has been so lethal. 12 blocks on the match. And for Miami, if they want to try to make a play here and stay in this 4th, they've got to work on making those hitting errors. They've got 24 hitting errors as a team so far to Stanford's 10. And that is a difference maker here at this point in the game.
Elia Rubin serving out of the timeout for the Cardinal. Number 5 team up by 7 points over number 14, Miami. The tip, handled by Blashaw. She'll reset for the swing and gets it done. 14 kills for Julia Blashoff.
So impressive from Blashoff. She hits the ball at such a high point. Look at that. Almost over the hands of Wilson as she gets there a little bit late.
Blashoff reads it beautifully. She's at 15. A 9-point lead for the Stanford Cardinal here in the fourth.
15 kills for Blashoff. She is high flying today. As I said earlier, having the game of her life right now. Taking control of this matchup.
The tip. Beautiful diving save from Harvey. Here's Heredia Colon off the block. Parks tries the dump. She'll stay alive. The battle at the net continues, and it goes out of play. Miami wins it.
From Parks, normally very aggressive on the net, but Miami has actually done quite a decent job. She hasn't gone up as much to attack as she normally does in other matches that we've seen, but in the 2 times in her 2 attempts, Miami has done a decent job of defending.
There's Heredia Colon. A nice pass from Etzler to set it up for Blashoff. She's shut down. Miami chipping away to come back here.
Miami with a much needed block there on Blashoff. I talked about that earlier with Blashoff. She has just been going off and has been hitting almost as if there's no block in front of her, and sometimes there hasn't been a block in front of her, and so for them to make that adjustment is such an important time for her. And Colon with a huge, that ace.
The back corner perfectly placed.
Wow, what an impressive top spin jump serve from Colon.
And that's the threat that you've been talking about, Naya. Of course, we've seen some service errors from both squads, but the aces have snuck right in there as well.
That is the 6th ace for this Miami team, and those aces coming from Rodriguez and coming from Colon. Dahlia Wilson snuck 1 ace in there, but that usually is very heavy from those 2 players that I mentioned. Rodriguez, as I talked about earlier with her, she is the number 3 player in the Division I at the service line at 71 ace per set. That's her average. So lethal. And Colon as well, such a strong top spin jump serve. We saw Etzler handle that last one with a perfect pass, but that serve down the line is lethal.
I mean, coming into this weekend alone, Heredia Colon not only leading the ACC, but leading the nation when it comes to points per set and kills per set. She led the ACC overall points as well as overall kills too. We've talked about how feeding her has been the mantra for this Miami team, but given a lot of credit as well to how they've spread the points this time around. Maria Mushkudiani and Dahlia Wilson in particular with double-digit kills.
So she will head back now to that service line. It's always tough coming out of a timeout. How do you come back and respond? Do you take a little bit off of your serve before going because you want to make sure you keep it in? Regaining that focus.
Here she is again. Set up for Blashoff. Rodriguez trying to handle it. Here's Blashoff again. Tries to push to the back. Cross court. Good effort from Etzler and Rubin, but it goes out.
That's a great swing there from Njai, the freshman. As we've been talking about, she has had some big moments so far in this match. Her 8th kill.
And a lot of credit to Miami for coming in here to Maples and just absolutely competing and not giving up. Under Kevin Hambley, who's in his 9th season, he's 107-13 overall here at Maples. At home, there is definitely a home court advantage, but Miami is not giving up. Joust at the net, won by Logan Parks.
And I've talked about Parks and her aggression at the net and how good she is there. And we see that the quick turn, goes up strong. She's not letting that ball back over on the other side of the net.
Second kill of the day for Logan Parks. There's Coco Kirsch. With the ace! Coco Kirsch continues to do her job. That's the third ace of the day.
We talked about her coming in and how lethal she is at the service line. Comes in as a DS and serving sub. And has one of the best serves among others on this Cardinal squad.
In the back row, Heredia Colon answers.
You see and hear her call that ball. You're going to give me that set. Rodriguez gets pushed a little tight to the net, still sets that up for Colon in the back row. And she gets on it. What a huge swing from her as the Canes are trying to stay in this right now.
Now serving for Miami, number 2,
Trying to chip away to make their way back here in the fourth set. Feliciano at the line. That goes long. A tough service error for Miami. Their 11th today.
That is a tough one, and this is a really difficult time to miss serves. The Cardinal up 22-15.
Shut down in the middle. Erica Sayer, Julia Blashoff with the presence at the net.
And Harvey coming in, 3 blockers, a triple block on Colon. Totally took away any space for her to try to score.
Cardinal shut down Wilson, but a swing there that's going to connect from Njai.
Njai, she has been having a very decent match, had some errors early on, but I've seen a lot. Her being able to take the ball, she's had some perfect passes and getting out to run her route on the outside. And you see the aggression there. She comes around, passes that ball, asks for it, and goes up and takes a big swing.
Jasmine Vergara at the line for Miami. From the back row, the tip, handled by the Cardinal. Stuffed! Jordan Harvey, my goodness. Her 8th block, and that's only 2nd on the team.
We are at match point now for the Cardinal. That's a tough play from Miami. Rodriguez trying to get that ball back to Njai, but with all of the runaround that was happening on the floor there, set her a little too tight.
Great save by Etzler there. Here's Harvey. Tries to get the angle down. Free ball here for the Cardinal. Trying to put it away. Here's Rubin. Tools the block and gets it done. The number 5 Stanford Cardinal get the ranked victory over number 14 Miami in 4 sets. The dominance here in set number 4 to take this one 25-16.
What a match here for the Cardinal. What a match for Julia Blashoff and Elia Rubin. Ending this one, Rubin with 17 kills, hitting 441. Blashoff, 15 kills, 342. Harvey, 11 kills, hitting 333. You have Lizzie Andrew in the middle, hitting 500. I mean, look at those numbers. They put on a show in efficiency today. As a team, hitting 357. What a match for the Cardinal and for Miami. A very, very tough end to this California weekend. They have dropped both matches. One to Cal on Thursday, the match today to Stanford. They've had